Okay, so here we go then. We're back in, guys, and I'll just pretend that the game started from here because we had a little bit of a drop. TaToH lost internet connection, and yeah, I mean, basically we're restarting from here, and we're continuing from here as we go into basically part 2 of the game, since the first part was lost due to the drop. But we are back with the 4th and final game now between BacT and TaToH in this series for the Platinum League of the Empire Collective Cup. So far, it is 2-1 to TaToH in a very unusual, I guess, turn of events. A lot of people perhaps not expecting things to go so well for him, and so far they have gone great. The very fact that it is 2-1 to TaToH, and I'm saying this for the benefit of those watching on YouTube, it basically means that TaToH has secured a draw here, and he could even win. For BacT, there is no possible way to win this series. The only way, the best result he can get is a draw if he wins this game. Now, the map is ES Pilgrims, a map that is very, very rarely seen at a high level because it can be a little unfair, a little unbalanced. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's all a lot of fun, and I don't think it's so imbalanced or so unfair. I think it's just it can be perceived to be that way. So I think TaToH so far getting off to a pretty nice start, actually. Both of them went straight to the mainland, and that's not, I guess, unusual. In fact, I probably expected them to do that. It's just not what we see in our community games, because in community games, we usually see players sticking their TCs up on their starting islands. But honestly, the starting island doesn't offer a huge amount in terms of resources. There's a little bit of gold, a little bit of stone. There's a 4 sheep, which is pretty crap, and there's some shorefish. But TaToH is going to leave 4 villagers back here. In fact, 5 villagers back here, since his transport can only carry 5. And he's going to take the shorefish, which of course gathered very quickly, and he's going to take these sheep to maximize the amount of food he's got available to him. Now, TaToH has got a lot of food available to him. There's a lot of turkeys under this TC, and TaToH seems like he is going to have a very nice Dark Age here. Now, BacT, he's got the deer, which is obviously something that TaToH doesn't have, and he's also got a few turkeys of his own as well. So he should be absolutely fine for food. He also got his dock up a little earlier. If you notice that at the moment, TaToH just has the single dock and single fishing ship. BacT, the single dock and 4 fishing ships. So a little more food income potentially from that. And I said earlier in the first part of this one as well, the water on this map is going to be somewhat important since there is a lot of fishing to be had. There's a lot of fishing, and there's a lot of big fish, which is going to really supplement these guys' food economy. But there's also a lot of land, and it's going to be really important to kind of have a little bit of both. And given that both of these guys have built their TCs pretty close to the water, it's my guess and my prediction that we're going to see BacT and TaToH try and do some water build as well. BacT here walling a little on the land to prevent TaToH getting an easy aggression on him. And in fact, he's got a very easy wall. You can just wall bit here, and he's already walled here, and then it's just a small wall on the right side. You can actually force this to go almost to the water if he likes. A second dock is coming up, and TaToH now with a very slow feudal time in comparison to BacT. I mean, the difference here is huge, and it's kind of unlucky for TaToH, I guess, or unfortunate, because he has chosen to play as the Mongols, and there's no hunt for him. So the very fast time of BacT here is kind of a little bit awkward, and TaToH now just clicking up to the feudal age. BacT, he's nearly there, he's 80%. TaToH taking the deer down here though, so I mean he's at least found them, and he will actually get that hunt bonus from the Mongols and put it to good use. Worth noting, it's non-mirror civs as well. BacT is playing as the Celts, so complete non-mirror, and unusually the Celt player reaching the feudal age before the Mongol player. But 3 docks up for BacT. Seems like he's really going to focus on the water here. Perhaps risky for TaToH. TaToH's got gold on this right side, and actually that's a good point as well. The gold situation for both of them does seem like there's a little more gold on the BacT side of the map, but judging by the way this is going, I think it would be wise for TaToH to try and focus more on the land, and for BacT to maybe focus more on the water, because TaToH, I think land is going to be really important to him in this game, because he's already off to a bad start on the water here. But we will see. BacT obviously has found this dock. He's going to send his galleys right out straight away and find those fishing ships, because if he can take them down, that is a huge advantage to him. He could also maybe harass these villagers on the gold as well. And for TaToH here, I don't know if he's found that gold. He must have found it, yeah. So he has got gold on the mainland, but it is a little awkward since it's right on the shoreline here, and the next gold is kind of far from his TC. So he's up to feudal. Double BitAxe coming in straight away, of course, and BacT is one step ahead, really, in all counts at the moment. But even number of of villagers each, and TaToH now going to lose his fishing if he's not careful. TaToH with a single new dock, and it seems like, I don't know, it's almost like he's going to try something different, and he is. He's going to go with a barracks here on the land. He is still doing a couple of galleys. He doesn't want BacT, I guess, to think that he is going to be trying to, like, you know, avoid going on water entirely. But TaToH's already lost those fishing there, or that fishing there. He might lose these villages if he's not careful. He might get stranded at the very least. But yeah, I mean, TaToH here on the land, stable, barracks, and it looks like he wants to fast castle this one as well, given that he is still taking a lot of food. He's still taking, or he was taking, the deer down here, and he's got the gold and food nearly to go up to the castle age. So maybe a fast castle? I might be wrong. He's actually doing scouts right now and a blacksmith, but I still think he's going to have a fast castle time, whichever way you look at it. Putting up that blacksmith there pretty quickly and actually taking the boar down here as well, but oh no, he's lost it. He's going to be fine. The ball won't run back too quickly. So a single scout, and obviously these guys don't start with the scouts. It's a nomad style start. And so, obviously, TaToH going to scout the map and see what he can find. BacT has walled up, though. And this is why I think a fast castle is pretty important for him here. If he can fast castle it, then he can bust through these walls very quickly with some siege. And BacT will be hard-pressed to stop that. But with the fish that BacT has, with all the food that he's got coming in, BacT is going to have a good castle time as well. And he's doing an archery range and a barracks right now. And TaToH, he's going to want to try and take the water back at some point and remove this fish advantage from BacT. But until then, he's going to focus on the land. And wow, BacT here with this blacksmith is up. He'll be clicking up to castle as well. TaToH should be clicking up right now, so he's a little ahead, but not by a huge margin. Mordecai just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you very much, Mordecai. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for the support, and thanks for the resub. Much appreciated, man. Yeah, obviously TaToH coming down for the gold here. He's got the gold on his starting island, still comfortably taking that, thankfully. Once he gets up to castle, he's probably going to maybe do a couple of fires, but he's definitely going to be trying to do something on the land here. BacT might be expecting that now, considering he's spotted the villagers going across to his side of the map. These villagers here, probably going to build this forward siege workshop and try and get aggressive out on the front. Villager down! Oh no! TaToH luring or killing boar, like, so far away from anything. What is this? I don't even know. But he's certainly got plenty of food available at the moment for the time being. 3 ships coming out. Neither of them have fletching yet. BacT is doing it. And it looks like BacT, you know, he might try and go for war galley, but I think he's going to be much more hard pressed to defend this. So on the land, he's certainly going to have to fight there. And TaToH, oh TaToH, free fishing ships for you. You can do it, man. Okay, he's going to find the ships, but they're a little bit late. BacT noticing a little early, and I think, yeah, I mean, TaToH clearly just trying to find the fishing ships here and trying to maybe get back onto the water with a couple of fires, but he certainly doesn't have enough. So he doesn't have enough wood to make too many fires at the moment. One is coming out though, so maybe that's enough. On the land, BacT has had enough, and down, oh man, how unlucky is that? Stable, 99% as BacT kills that villager. I can't believe that. TaToH, not the luckiest of starts, but knights coming out. And we've got crossbow coming in for BacT right now. So kind of expected for him to do stuff on the land as well, but BacT really seems ahead in all situations at the moment. The fire on the water from TaToH, it's going to push BacT away, I guess, a little bit, but not by a lot. I mean, BacT still has more galleys, so he can still hit and run these fires and still come out on top. BacT with a new TC. He's already got a lot of gold income there. And TaToH's just making a couple of knights now and a siege workshop here. And I think this is the right thing to do. I think this 1 TC aggression is definitely the right way to go about it. But at the moment, BacT does have 2 more villagers. And TaToH's working on a very small time frame here. He only has a very small amount of time to be able to push out and actually do the damage he needs to do. BacT, no bodkin arrow, but TaToH does not have bloodlines. TaToH does not have +2. So even though TaToH is making knights right now, BacT could do some serious damage here if he gets enough crossbows together and micros them well. But oh dear, TaToH dying to villagers. It's a sad state of affairs at the moment as he's down by 4 villagers right now and losing more to Gaia, it would seem, by the minute. Oh dear, fire's coming out though. More fires, more fires. He's still trying to get some kind of water back. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. And TaToH knows that. So, TaToH with his knights. He's doing a monastery now. Once again. And a scorpion. We've seen a lot of monks this series. I like that. The Wallow Warriors approve. TaToH then, I mean, he's got to have had more food income, you'd think. But at the moment, he's like half the population. And even though TaToH's had like all this deer and stuff down here, BacT with the fishing on the water, certainly keeping things even, to say the least. Maybe even pulling an advantage there. BacT with the monastery, and this is really looking quite scary for TaToH now. A market coming up. Yeah, his food income is next to nothing at the moment. He's not really seeded any more farms. He's still taking some deer over here and turkeys, but his food income is certainly shocking at the moment, and he knows that. He knows he's got to get back on the water somehow, and fires are the only realistic way he's got to do it at the moment. There are more fires coming out. He's got to try and get these fishing ships, but there's too many galleys from BacT, and unfortunately fires just don't do the job properly, and they still die. And now war galleys coming out for Bad Geoffro as well. Scorps, knights, looking good, but 1 conversion from BacT, and this could be all over if he's not careful for TaToH. Oh wow, okay. Deleting the knight there. You might notice that knight died a bit strangely. That's because TaToH was about to reconvert it back. 2 HP on this monk. Surprising. Yeah, I've always wondered why monks can't heal themselves. It seems a bit weird. You'd think that they should be able to heal themselves, really. But yeah, Bad Geoffro at the moment is all over this. He is so all over this. And TaToH making maybe more fires? Oh no, he's trying to fish again. Okay. Well, this is a real problem. Unless he can take down the fishing ships of BacT, then he cannot catch up in terms of food economy. It's all well and good having these deer down here and stuff, but if you have a look at the food gathered, and we have a quick look at that, BacT is way ahead on the food. In fact, he's ahead on everything. Ahead on wood, ahead on stone, ahead on gold. He is just all over it at the moment, and it's kind of sad, I guess, for TaToH at the moment. TaToH doing some camels, interestingly enough. I think. Yeah, a camel coming out. Interesting choice, considering there's mass crossbows here from BacT. And a mangonel as well. But BacT with these monks, certainly going to be annoying to TaToH, as TaToH's knights are going to get easily converted. But TaToH now 3 TCs coming up. I mean, 3 new TCs, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. No, just 2 new TCs. My bad. He's got 1 down here on this wood line. He's got 1 on the left side on the gold. And he's even collecting up the relics now as well. But taking damage from the water. And like I said, I mean, this map is as much about water as it is about land. You've really got to get water control if you can. And I don't think TaToH's really put enough emphasis on that. His feudal time was pretty slow. So he fell behind getting... He fell behind getting out the boats, and since he got castle, he wasn't able to make it work with the fires either. TaToH, he's got a lot of supporters in the chat. I keep looking over and everyone's like, TaToH, potato, potato, you can do it. But unfortunately, Bad Geoffro is looking very strong right now, and looking in a position of dominance at 1,300 score ahead. The Mangonel is going to maybe take down a couple of boats just for good measure, but it's a sorry state of affairs for TaToH or TaToH, whatever you want to call him right now, whatever floats your boat, whatever floats Bad Geoffro's boats, I don't know, but it's certainly keeping them all over the water. No docks left for TaToH at the moment, still taking gold over here. And he's going to do his best to make something work with a bigger boom, a bigger, better boom. That's what he's trying to do. But BacT, he knows he's in a great position. He's walling up a little bit here. He's got a massively superior army. Villager's going to die for TaToH here. It's not good news at all. I mean, where's his gold? I mean, stone. He's got a long way to go to get stone here. And I don't really see how TaToH is going to stop this army from BacT. He's got the mangonels. If he gets a good couple of shots, then that's great. But BacT is walling up, and he knows that he can wall. He can sit behind this. He can sit behind this wall, and he can just build up. He's got a military advantage. He's got a villager advantage. He's all over this, and BacT now up to the Imperial Age as well. Goodness me, up to the Imperial Age already. 28 minutes in. That's the power of that fish boom, of course, giving him a huge food boost. And he did that on just 3 TCs, the 4th TC coming up, and the Celts have an incredibly strong late game, you know? Unfortunately for both of them, I guess, the stone on this map is not really all there. I mean, there's a little bit of stone. It's kind of on BacT side, but TaToH's going to try and take some of that now. But yeah, I mean, there's not a huge amount of stone here. There's a little bit here, actually, as well. So BacT a little more stone on his side of the map, which is going to help him, I'm sure, because, well, he's going to want to get some castles out. The Celts, of course, they're powerhouse in the Imperial Age. They are a powerhouse in the Imperial Age, rather. And that is mostly coming from their Woad Raiders, which is so incredibly strong. These Scorpions, a really nice touch from TaToH, but not enough, really. He's going to be able to get the TC up in time and try and secure some stone now. But TaToH, yeah, nowhere near to the Imperial Age at all. BacT just so far ahead in every possible metric, and TaToH is just flailing around trying to find something. And the question is, what should he do in this situation? Well, I think rather than what should he do now, it's what should he have done earlier. And I really think he should have tried to get the water a little more. He has got a single fire ship on the prowl at the back, but it's not really a lot, and he might not get too many fishing ships with that. What else should he have done, maybe? Well, aside from getting the water, I mean, with getting the water, everything else sort of comes with the territory, you know? If you win the water, then you're in a position where, oh dear, mangonel down, nothing is going right for him this game. Imperial Age for BacT right now, and TaToH's calling GG. Good luck for the next one. Yes, understandable GG there, to say the least. Honestly, that was horrible. It was horrendous for TaToH, and I feel like, well, you know, once he lost the water, it was downhill from there. Allowing BacT to have that big fish boom was end game, essentially. I mean, the fact that BacT had that meant that he could just focus on the land a bit more. He could obviously get to the Imperial Age much faster. He can invest in military much easier because he's got a lot more food income in general. And he was all over it. He could keep his villagers coming out faster, easier from his economy. It's just everything is benefited by having this fish boom on the water here. And TaToH, I don't think, did a huge amount to really stop it. I mean, in the early game, he made a few galleys, but it just wasn't enough, and the fires weren't able to win the water either. And I think, you know, he did try and go on the land. I think, you know, that was also a very good decision, but BacT was able to wall up pretty easily, and as a result, BacT won the game pretty quickly, and it is a draw. And a draw in the first game. TaToH then doing probably better than expected, I think. TaToH with a 2-2 draw, and I think a lot of people didn't expect him to get 2 wins here. I think I was expecting a 3-1 win for BacT, and BacT was certainly the favorite to win, that is for sure. But a draw it is, and a draw it will be. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Don't forget to follow the stream if you haven't already. I'm going to really very quickly